Boots is that guy. We thought it going into this fight, and we're thinking the same thing going out of this fight, man. He is the blue chip prospect, the boogeyman of the division, the guy nobody wants to face, the guy we want to see face the top people. Man, he is clearly a top level talent, but so far he has just been on the outside looking into the biggest fights at 147 pounds, man. And, that's kind of what led him to this fight today, right? In a way, it's a stay busy fight. He can't just stay on the sidelines, sit around and try and wait for the biggest fights to get made. He has to get active, but at the same time, he's not just staying busy in the traditional sense as though he's out there fighting some bum. Like, Villa's got some serious power, an iron chin, willpower to put it all together, man. We saw that when he stepped in there in his last fight against Rashidi Ellis. So, there was a little bit of intrigue in this, right? A little bit of wondering whether or not Villa was going to be able to wear Boots down. Whether or not he was going to be able to absorb some of the punishment, kind of stick around late, possibly challenge, but no. Everyone said if Boots wanted to be considered amongst the best in the world at 147 pounds, you can't just beat guys like this. You have to be able to go out there and stop them. You have to be able to take tough guys like Villa, and you have to be able to put them away. And look, from the opening bell, it was the Roiman Ennis show. Boots is doing exactly what he was supposed to do. From the very first round, he's coming out, he's working behind that jab. He's throwing it early, he's throwing it often, he's staying at distance. Dude, he threw over like 50 jabs in that first round, and it was on point. It was sharp, it was crisp, it was landing at will. I liked it. He was moving around, but not too much, using just enough, throwing little right hands here and there. One of the things that you had to be concerned with coming into this fight was Villa was so strong, man. He's fighting behind that high guard. He's got the iron chin. You do not want to do what Rashidi Ellis did, which was wear yourself out in the first half of the fight, thinking that you're going to have it in the bag, thinking you're going to break this guy down, thinking it's going to be enough, and he's still around in the second half, and now all of a sudden your lungs are burning. Second round comes around, only 30 seconds into the second round, and Boots is doing exactly what he needs to do, man. He's landing hard power shots. He's getting the timing down. And now he's starting to back Villa up. Right? It's not just enough to stay at the outside. It's not just enough to work the jab. It's not just enough to be at distance. When you're doing that, you're allowing Villa to kind of build momentum. You're allowing him to be where he wants to be for the time being, constantly thinking and plotting and hoping. He's not a guy that can fight going backwards. You turn around and you go in there and you take this aggressive fighter and you start to back him up, and everything starts to change for him. And that's what we saw starting in the second round. Man, he is just, by the end of the second round, Boots is over there. He's getting off beautifully, man. He's feeling himself. He's in his rhythm. He's dancing a little bit. He's landing the shots. Man, he was just at a point where he was able to do whatever he wanted. He was better in every area. Faster hands, faster feet, better balance, more agility, great accuracy with his shots. But, as much as we can praise Boots, he isn't flawless. And we going into the third round, by like the middle of the third, Villa was able to start landing some shots. He was able to get a little bit of work done. I still didn't give him the round, but he was able to fight a little bit more at that inside distance. And Boots was able to really get that uppercut going at times. He was able to land combinations, but Villa was there with some counter shots, man. He was able to actually score. He was able to try to do some things, and we get it through 4 rounds, and I'm just looking and I'm like, Boots is looking sharp, man. He's on point. He's got the power. He's not moving too much. He's doing all of these things. I just wish he would go to the body a little bit more, because Villa's just got this iron will. He's not going to be discouraged, and I want to make sure, I'm like, just don't want the outside chance that Boots ends up tiring down, and you go to a man's body, you break him down. It's gonna always pay dividends later in the fight. But lo and behold, man, we didn't need it, because the 7th, 8th round, just when Villa, going in, that's when he thought he was going to really start to be able to turn it up, really start to shine, man, and Boots just cranked it up to another level. Once again, it was just the Roiman Ennis show, man. He's going out there, and he's just landing powerful shots, clubbing shots. He's starting to really start to hammer on this dude by the end of the 8th. After the 8th round, you got the doctor in the corner checking on Villa. 10th round, we get the stoppage, right? Boots just comes out there and just puts it on him, turns it over, lights out. And once again, and still, right? He's got that, what is it? interim IBF belt or whatever it is. I mean, look, we all know who the men are in the division. They're fighting later on this month. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, but there's going to be a winner from that fight and there's going to be a loser from that fight. Now, it doesn't matter who wins and it doesn't matter who loses in the sense that I'm sure Jaron Ennis would be willing to fight the winner or the loser. Both of them are going to be bigger than him. Both of them are going to have, command more attention. Both of them are going to be the A side. He's going to want what he's always wanted, man, which is just getting in there with the biggest names in the division so that he can start to claim those top spots for himself, because I'm sure he feels like the talent level is there. When you watch it, he passes the eye test. You want to see him get in there and fight amongst the best in the division. And so far, those fights have been eluding him, man. So he's just been doing what he does. And tonight was no exception, more the same. Like I said, the Jaron Ennis show, man, he comes out there and he just knows how to put it on people. The man's a high-level fighter. So, let me know what you guys think. Were you as impressed with this one as I was? Did you think there was a possibility that it was going to be any different? And who do you think is going to give him his break, so to speak, in the sense that they're going to be willing to give him his shot, step in there with him? Who are we going to see him in there with next? Let me know what you guys think.